Good morning, boys and girls. We are on page 106. Please make sure you're turning to lesson 23 in your homework. So, problem A says sort the following expressions by rewriting them in the table. So, we are sorting them to make sure that it falls under the category it is being asked. So, right here, the product is less than the box number. So, you're looking for a number that is less than the box number. So, I am looking at the number here. Notice that 0.9 is less than 828. Over here, we have 0.1 is less than 0.05. Oh, this one does not go here. 0.05 is more than, no, that's right, yeah. 0.05 is less than 0.01. I almost forgot my place value. So this one is in the tens place. Oh, this one is not working. This one is in the tens place. And this one is in the ones. Oh, hundreds and tens place. This one is in the hundreds place. And the one is in the tens place. And this value is larger. Now, looking at these over here, they want you to put the product that is greater than the box number. So, 12.12 is larger than 1. 0 is less than 1. 2 is greater than 1. 321 is greater than 1. This one right here, the product is greater than the box number. This one does not seem right. This one is actually supposed to be on this side. 0.007 12 is less. 12 is greater than 1. 0 is not greater than 1. 2 is greater than 1. Yeah, so this one should be over here. Times 1.02. So I would cross that one out. Okay? Now, problem B, for part B, it asks you, what do the expressions in each column have in common? So if you notice, they are, the less than side is multiplied by a number less than 1. And the greater than is multiplied by a number greater than 1. For part 2, they ask you write a statement using one of the following phrases to complete the value of the expressions, then explain how you know. So 14 times 999 thousandths is slightly less than 14. I know that because you are multiplying by a decimal. Because 999 thousandths is slightly less than 1. 1.01 or 1 and 1 hundredths times 2 and 6 hundredths is slightly less than 2 and 6 hundredths because 1.01 is slightly more than 1. 1,955 times 19 thousandths is a lot less than 1,955 because 19 thousandths is a lot less than 1. Turning to page 107, for part D, we have 2,000 times 1 and 1 thousandths is slightly more than 2,000 because 1 and 1 thousandths is slightly more than 1. 2 thousandths times 911 thousandths is slightly less than 2 thousandths because 0 and 911 thousandths is slightly less than 1. So what you're looking at right now is that any number that is multiplied by 1, a whole number digit, then it is going to be more. If you are multiplying by a number that is less than 1, then it's going to be less. So Rachel is 1.5 times as heavy as her cousin Kayla. Another cousin, Jonathan, weighs 1.25 times as much as Kayla. List the cousins from lightest to heaviest and explain your thinking. I don't love this question because it's talking about weight, and I don't think it's important who is heavier or who is lighter than each other. I don't know why they made that a question. That's not really nice. So, we know that Kayla is less than Jonathan, and Jonathan weighs less than Rachel. We know that because Rachel is heavier than Jonathan because she is 1.5 times heavier than Kayla, while Jonathan is only 1.25 times heavier than Kayla. So this makes Kayla the lightest out of all of them. For our problem 4, it asks you to circle your choice. A times B is greater than A. For this statement to be true, B must be greater than 1. So in this case, it could be 1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and higher. But if it's 0.1 or 0. anything, then that would be less than 1. For part 2 of the question, write 2 expressions that support your answer. Be sure to include 1 decimal example. So these are my examples right here, but you could have had any example. I multiplied 7 times 5/3, and I said that it's less than 7 because if you look at the denominator, or greater than 7, if you look at the denominator here, it is a 3, and the 5 is larger. So if your numerator is larger than your denominator, then your decimal would be larger as well. Your final answer would be larger. So when I multiply 7 times 5, I get 35 over 3. 35 divided by 3 is equal to 11 and 2/3. And we know that 11 is greater than 7. So that's why the shark eats the larger number. Over here, we have 7 times 1 and 8, or 1.8. And it is larger than 7. How do I know this? Because when I multiplied 7 times 1.8, I get 12.6, and 12 is larger than 7. So my alligator or shark is eating the larger number. For part B, they ask you, A times B is greater than, or less than, actually. A times B is less than A. For this statement to be true, B must be what? B must be less than. In order for A, when you multiply a number, usually it gets larger, but if you're multiplying times a number that is less than 1, then you're going to get an answer that is less than 1. So here's an example. 6 times 1/2. Half of 6 is equal to what? 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3, and 3 is less than 6. On this side, 8 times 7/10. We know we multiply less than 1, we're going to get a number that is less than. We know that 8 times 7 is 56. Move your decimal over and you get 5.6. 5.6 is less than 8. So 5.6 is less than. Alligator is going to eat the larger number, which is 8. So in this lesson, what they're focusing on is you understanding what makes a number larger or smaller when you are multiplying times a decimal or a fraction. And they want to know if you understand if it's going to be greater than 1 or less than 1. If you have questions in class, please let me know.